The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Former Jets GM and friend of the show, Mike Tannenbaum, has released a wild mock draft. It's a mock based on what he would do if he was all 32 teams' general managers. We'll talk about what Tannenbaum has the Jets doing and much more. Dylan Tereman is going to join us from Jet Nation Live. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go. Show number 2 on the day. If you missed it earlier, Robbie Sabo was our guest. It was a wild ASMANIAC Madness matchup. Our first ever 1 seed went down. Congrats to We the People on defeating Cheats Fan inside the Hood region. Round of 32. Here's where things stand. We the People is on to the Sweet 16. And coming up on this show today, we will see the 4 seed, Peter Castro, duke it out against the 5 seed, Nate. Parentheses, Nate. Voting will open in just a bit, but right now we say hello to a good friend of the show. He is the co-host of Jet Nation Live. He is a draft expert. Dylan Tereman joins us now. And Dylan, this is the last time we will see you in this current setup. You're moving later this week. You broke down every aspect of your house besides this room you're in right here. So we appreciate you leaving the setup to join us on today's show.
Yeah, I got a lot of love for you and Buffalo Jet fan, because Monday nights and Tuesday afternoons I come on your shows, and I was not coming with the hostage gray blink twice if you're okay background, so had to leave it up. But yeah, the rest of my house over there is just all boxes. I move on Thursday, so next week is going to be a hard one for me, but the week after we can catch back up. But super glad to be here. It's mock draft season. We have some crazy ones, including this one from Mike T.
Mike T, always thinking outside the box. Now, look, I appreciate when Mike does this every year because he treats it as if he's the GM of all the 32 teams that he's making picks for here. So, it's an interesting thought process from Tannebaum when he does it. I'll break down the picks in front of the Jets, and then we'll get to his selection for the Jets and how you would feel about that, Dylan, as someone who studies the draft year-round. At number 1, he has Cam Ward going to the Titans, so no really crazy thought there. I think that's the at this point the feel of what's going to happen with that selection. Number 2 is interesting. Cleveland could go quarterback, but Tannenbaum has them selecting Travis Hunter, the corner/wide receiver, the Heisman Trophy winner from Colorado. The Giants at 3 take Shedeur Sanders. So the top 2 quarterbacks are both gone within the top 3. Number 4, and this is why I bring this up and wanted to start by going through the picks in front of the Jets. Armin Membu goes to the New England Patriots in this spot. They don't take Abdul Carter, who is seemingly the other top player that's available there. Tannebaum writing that Membu is a guy who could shift from right tackle and play left tackle. He moves really well, and he has solid hand placement, also explosive. He thinks Mike Vrabel will love the idea of taking a tackle because it reminds him of Jim Harbaugh selecting Joe Alt in his first draft with the Chargers. So he has Membu, who's been linked to the Jets a lot lately, to New England at 4. At 5, Carter, who is somehow still there in this mock, goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Abdul Carter is off the board. And then at number 6, this has been a popular consensus pick for this one, Ashton Genty, the running back from Boise, goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. And then the New York Jets are on the clock, and Mike Tannenbaum has them selecting offensive tackle/guard Will Campbell from LSU. Tannebaum writing Campbell would be a perfect bookend opposite of last year's first-round pick, Olu Fashanu. Even though he played left tackle at LSU, he could slide to the right side in New York. His shorter arms wouldn't be as much of a concern there. Campbell only allowed 2 sacks over his final 2 seasons, and while arm length is important, his tape is too good and too consistent to pass on here. This would be a good move for the Jets, who signed quarterback Justin Fields and now have to make sure the right players are in place around him. I also think it's interesting when Tannebaum weighs in on the Jets because he had a lot to do with Glenn and Muji getting the jobs in the first place. So he might have, similar thought processes to what they could be thinking with this pick. So the floor is yours, Dylan. What do you make of Tannenbaum's mock and specifically the pick there at 7 for the Jets?
Well, just with the Jets pick first, and then we can get to the first 6 picks. I mean, this is an A+ to me. Just based on film, Will Campbell is graded out to be the second highest player so far, and it's not a perfect science. I'm only about, 12 or 13 if I'm doing math here roughly in my head, and most of these guys are quarterbacks because I thought we were going to take one. Now I'm not so sure. Will Campbell graded out as the second highest player for me behind Abdul Carter, and Abdul Carter was only beating him out by half a point. And that half a point came on length because Will Campbell's arm length is 32 5/8. And for a tackle, the quote unquote threshold for a lot of teams is 33 inches. So that 3/8 of an inch did knock him a little bit. I kind of view him as a guard, which you can always move AVT out to right tackle. I know that's been a popular option among Jets fans this draft season. So Will Campbell, to me, just based off the pick alone, is great based on how the board fell. When you get into the rest of the picks that happened before it, I did a full two round mock, just exploring what could happen. My buddy and I went simultaneous picks, and I had Cam Ward go 1, just like he did. That's kind of chalk. I had number 2 and number 5 flipped. So I had Abdul Carter go number 2 to the Browns, and then I had Shadur go to the Giants. I think that's almost too much of a lock at this point because they don't have much movement with Rodgers, which is just funny that these teams are getting held up on Rodgers. And I was a fan of bringing him back, but now kind of seeing other teams wait on him so long and pretend like they didn't see this happen with the Jets. He was traded the week of the draft. And I feel like I know that was a lot of, urgency from Woody Johnson and Joe Douglas and what have you, but we've seen Aaron Rodgers willing to play this out in the long run, keep his name on NFL Live a couple more weeks longer. So Shadur Sanders is the pivot point for the Giants at 3. I had Campbell go 4 to the Patriots because I thought they were going to prioritize offense. They obviously just go Membu because he's more of the tackle first and then guard, whereas Campbell could be viewed as the guard first and then tackle.
You know what's interesting, Dylan?
Mm-hmm.
To me, I thought the thought process was Membu is just like a pure right tackle, and New England signed Morgan Moses. But Tannenbaum wrote that he thinks Membu could go and play left tackle. When you watched film on Membu, did you see a guy that could translate to left tackle? Because that's really the question here. Because if New England thinks the same way Tannenbaum does, you could argue Membu's a better prospect than Campbell because he's got the ideal measurements for teams that care about that stuff.
Yeah, and it's ironic, I'm wearing a Duke Manyweather shirt, and if you ask Duke Manyweather this question, he would tell you a completely different answer. I do think it's easy for players to flip from the right to left, more so. Sometimes he's more of I've trained this guy at this position, he can stay here. There's a couple guys he's trained up in Texas down there, and he does a really good job where he thinks they have flexibility, but sometimes he thinks overall it's harder to do. I'm cool with it if they think he can be a left tackle. I'm viewing him more as a right tackle. And same with Will Campbell. I would view him as a right guard or a right tackle. Not saying they couldn't do it, but I wouldn't put them in that position first. So if that's the view there where they want to put him on the left because they have Vidarian Lowe as their left tackle, that's fine. I mock them to take Will Campbell because they're kind of doing the same thing and putting him at left tackle. So if that's who they view better in Membu, that's fine. I'm completely cool with it. I have different issues with Membu that don't pertain to what side of the offensive line he's playing on.
That's interesting. So let's say the Jets did take Campbell. I mean, would you play him at right tackle in this scenario here? I mean, would you put him at guard? Your thoughts on how he would translate if the Jets took him? I would think they would take him to play right tackle. I don't think you're taking a guard at 7. That to me wouldn't make sense. So to me, he'd be the right tackle. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Glenn and I, my co-host on Thursday, Jet Nation Live, we always say, let's try the player out at the premium position first, which would be tackle. And if he fails, let him fail forward into being a guard. It's not like I look back at what was it, Skoronski from the Titans. They immediately drafted him and put him at left guard. They didn't even give him a chance to be a tackle. And I thought he could have been a fine tackle. So sometimes you have to give the guy the chance to prove he can play the premium position first. And if that is their strategy, they want to put AVT at right guard still and then Campbell at right tackle. And then halfway through camp, you realize it's not really working out. Let's flip-flop them. And then we know AVT is at worst a serviceable right tackle, but we think we can better maximize the asset of Campbell. Sure, you end up with a guard at pick 7 instead of a tackle, but at least you tried the premium position first at tackle. So I'm all for trying it and before you just give up on him and move him inside.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Dylan Tereman. He knows the draft as well as anyone. You can listen to him on the Buffalo Jet Fan Show. He comes on with us every Tuesday. Him and Glenn Naughton on Jet Nation Live every week do a great job talking about the Jets. And we're talking about Tannenbaum's mock here. What's interesting about his mock as I go through it, he has Mason Graham at 10 to the Bears. So the Jets would be passing on Graham in this scenario to take Campbell at 7. They also would be passing on Tet McMillan, who goes 12 to the Cowboys. So Tannenbaum does like McMillan here. And they also would be passing on a guy that I think a lot of Jet fans are comfortable taking at 7. That's Penn State tight end Tyler Warren, who goes number 14 to the Indianapolis Colts in this mock. Your thoughts on that? Knowing the players that went after Campbell, would you still take Campbell in this scenario if you're the Jets?
Yes, because it's Will Campbell. Now, if it happened more like my mock where the Patriots take Will Campbell and we have to choose between Armand Membu and any of the 3 names you just said, I don't think that my rankings would hold true. I would run the card up for Mason Graham. I truly believe he is the better prospect over Armand Membu, over Tet McMillan, over Tyler Warren specifically too. It's a premium position in my view because he's a pass rusher. I know it's interior, so it's not, as sexy as edge, but he's a pass rusher. So to me, that puts him into that premium bucket as far as positions. And I want to take a premium player at a premium position with my premium picks. So Tyler Warren kind of gets bumped down the list because it's tight end. And even though he could be a really good tight end, it's not a premium pick. Wide receiver, I do agree is a premium pick. I just don't value Tet there. So it kind of becomes between Mason Graham and whether it's Will Campbell or Armand Membu. In this case, I would take Campbell over Mason Graham. But if it's Membu and Graham, I'm 100% taking Mason Graham over Armand Membu.
It's interesting that you are that passionate about Graham. What do you see on film from Graham that makes you believe he'd be a good fit for the Jets in this scenario at 7?
Just his get off. Like he wins before, like on a play action, if the quarterback lines up under center, hypothetically, before the quarterback could turn around after selling the play action, he's already winning and in the backfield. And that's not, the only thing that he does. He is very, sound against the run. I don't think he's, just because you're a good pass rusher doesn't mean you're a negative in the run game. I do think he can sustain double team blocks and allow Quinnen to win at that point. He holds power at the point of attack fine for being, I think it was like 290 something he weighed in at the combine, which I thought was weird that he lost weight from what his playing weight was listed at. And he came in lower at the combine and then didn't test. Like if you're going to lose all that weight, at least test and show us what you could do at that small weight and then kind of leave it up to the unknown of what you could do at a couple pounds heavier. But I don't agree with people who say you can't draft him because you're only going to get 40% of the snaps out of him. He's going to be your 1B defensive lineman. And I don't foresee a rotation as high as Saleh and Ulbrich did last year and White Cotton did last year with the D-line. I think it's going to be a little bit more. We have starters and then we have rotational guys, and we're going to do more of a 70-30, 75-25 split. So Mason Graham to me is just far and away. He's the last of the blue chip prospects I talked about on my very first episode here with you guys. And then you start getting into the red chip players, which are Armand Membu. But Will Campbell, again, is a blue chip to me. So 2 blue chips versus a red chip, you stack them up as you see them,
Tyler Warren or Armand Membu, if those are the options at 7?
Membu. I prioritize Trench 100%. Last night, Buffalo Jet Fan and I did our draft wish list, and number 1 on the list for me was at least 2, if not 3 Trench players. So go get a defensive line hypothetically at 7, like Mason Graham. Go get a tackle in the 3rd round and then a day 3 D lineman. Like you have to attack trenches. We saw how the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I'm not saying we are the Eagles, but if you're going to replicate a team and you have a quarterback who's like a younger kind of version of Jalen Hurts who can put it all, if he puts it all together, I should say, you got to start doing things the way winners do it, and attacking the trenches over a tight end is my priority.
So I typically would agree with you. I just feel like who's catching passes right now for this team? Like that's my issue. The way they've handled free agency. I mean, you got Garrett Wilson and nobody that could catch the football right now.
Yep. That brought me to my second wish list bullet, which was sign a vet pass catcher and draft 2 more pass catchers. So that if you want to sign Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, all those guys are still out there. Elijah Moore is still out there for anybody who cares. A vet wide receiver, or like trade for Dallas Goedert, trade your early or your second, 5th round pick for Dallas Goedert. You can acquire a pass catcher that way, and then draft 2. You can draft one at 42 and then 109 and still be okay without taking one at 7. Obviously, it doesn't look as good on paper when you don't have the Tet or the Tyler Warren next to Garrett Wilson on the 2 deep depth chart, but I don't know. Can you find like the Jameson Williams light in this draft? I know Dante Thornton was a guy I was asked about last week. I went back and watched the film, or the highlights, I should say. It was a lot of like in-breakers and deep routes like Jalen Hyatt at Tennessee. Like he could be the guy who takes the top off the defense and you don't have to spend a premium pick on him. So perhaps you can find your wide receiver 2 and your tight end 1/2 a little bit further down than that 7.
Let's say the Jets are there on the clock in Tannenbaum's mock draft. So we know that he has them taking Campbell. We know the players that were off the board. Once again, for those of you just tuning in this mock, I posted the link in the live chat for those joining us live. The players picked in front of Campbell were at 6, Genty, who I don't believe the Jets would take, 5, Carter, 4, Membu, 3, Sanders, 2, Hunter, 1, Ward. Knowing what we know in this scenario, do you believe the Jets could trade out of 7? Would someone come up for Campbell and the Jets could slide back, still get a really good player and get extra picks? Because that, to me, is still probably what my preference would be above everything else. I just don't know how realistic it would be to actually get a real trade back offer.
I think it's feasible because of how highly I view Will Campbell personally on my board. I could see it happening because, like I said, he's one of those last blue chip guys at a premium position. I do think there's a chance, but again, like, maybe you're moving back 3 spots and you're getting a minimal return because it's not a premium. I mean, it is a premium, but it's not quarterback. When you're coming up for quarterback, the price tag's going to go up. So if it was Abdul Carter again, too, maybe the price tag would go up. But for Will Campbell, I think there could be a market to trade back. I know Chicago, who picks at 10, they've kind of solidified the interior of their offensive line in free agency and via trade. But if they view him as a tackle and they really want to solidify up front again in front of Caleb Williams, then maybe that's a guy. But if you're moving back 3 slots, I don't have the value chart in front of me. You're looking at a minimal return, but it's feasible. I don't see the consensus. Everybody wants to move back. Sure, that's great, but who's coming up and for what? But Campbell, I guess you could have a little bit of bait on the hook there to get somebody to offer you something.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Before we get to ASMANIAC Madness, reminder, we have ourselves an epic ASMANIAC Raffle this week. Our theme is 2010 Jets, my favorite Jets team of my lifetime. Signed Darrelle Revis helmet, signed Rex Ryan helmet, signed Bart Scott jersey, signed Santonio Holmes helmet, signed Antonio Cromartie helmet. And we revealed it yesterday, our 6th prize. That's right, we're doing 6 and counting so far. A signed Nick Mangold jersey. Your chance to win those 6 items by gifting memberships to be entered in the raffle. If you send in a $20 super chat because you can't gift from the phone, that will get you 5 raffle tickets. If you send in a $50 super chat, you 1, help pay for dinner for me, and 2, you then get yourself 10 raffle entries. So gift away. All right, we'll get to ASMANIAC Madness as well, but super chats do cut the line. So Bo starts us off with this. Who exactly are we blocking for with nobody to throw the ball to? No beef until the 2nd or 3rd round, period. So Bo is all about getting a weapon for Justin Fields in the 1st round. Dylan, your thoughts?
You're blocking for your 3 really good running backs. You're blocking for your gadget player in Malachi Corley. You're blocking for Justin Fields to be able to throw the ball to Garrett Wilson. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm against taking a weapon. I just think that the priority is trenches to me. I don't know. No beef until the 2nd or 3rd round. Sure. You can argue that, like Ariante Ursary at pick 42. I know the Jets just had a top 30 visit with him. I mocked him in the 2nd round in the mock I'm talking about. before, but I don't know, man. Trenches are just how I see the game going, and I know it's all flashy to how are you going to score points with nobody's out at wide receiver, but like I said, you can find somebody in rounds 2, 3, and 4 that Joe Douglas never did before that can actually impact their offense on year 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner has been paid for. Frank P has just dropped a 20 spot. Time to grab my helmet. Here we go.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
Time to strap up, Dylan. I got 20 names to read. Here we go. We'll get to ASMANIAC Madness right after this. But Frank, you're the man. SXBK, Neil Levy, Mike V, Una Too Cold, DCAT, Jet Stop, Aaron Matanti, Allen is a D-bag, Taylor D'Onofrio, Frank Yeager, Hader Ali, John Maselli, Ethan Hunt, Anthony Miguel, all receiving memberships. But wait, there is more. James Laverty, D Stern 80, the AZN Mike, Jet A30, RA Chemist, Amid Hiyoka, Carson Federico, boom, 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 courtesy of Frank. 20 entries. Just like that, 20 new members. That is how it's done, folks. Thank you very much, Frank. You were the man. All right. Before we get to ASMANIAC Madness, let's set the stage. Folks, we had a 1 seed that went down earlier today. Congratulations to We the People on defeating Cheats Fan. An 8 seed is headed to the Sweet 16. And that brings us now to the 4-5 inside the Hood region. An OG, Peter Castro, a longtime caller, not an OG in age, but an OG in watching the show, in Nate, parentheses Nate. Who's going to win? That's for the people to decide, and they're going to decide right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we hand things over to the great Jim Nance to set the stage for this matchup.
It's time for ASMANIAC Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top ASMANIAC for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
This really is a tough one, Dylan. We got two greats going at it here. A winner gets a spot in the Sweet 16. I know you've been following this tournament closely. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Nate. I know he's probably like a long-time caller. I'm more familiar with Peter Castro, so
You've seen Nate on the bike, though, right? We're driving around New York.
Oh, that's Nate on the bike. Okay, yeah. Yep. Now I'm familiar with him. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's quality content. That's always good to watch. Because you always just like anticipate him not falling, but like there's always that off chance that like somebody walks out in front of him and like it's live, so anything can happen. So that is good content. But Peter Castro, I mean, he's an OG. He's the guy that I had in my bracket. And I actually had Chiefs fan getting upset today by Weed the People. Maybe weed's not the gateway drug, but it's certainly the gateway to the Sweet 16.
Well done. This is a great one from Yeti, who wrote in earlier. I just want to say thank you, Weed, for today and every day the past 30 plus years. Yeti, well done. Shout out to Chris Grasso. Chris G, he bought a ticket to our draft party, so Chris will be there because this party's open for all ages. Chris, I'll make sure they serve some juice boxes for you, all right?
I was going to say, does he get a colored wristband to prove that he can't drink?
Yeah. Barbarossa would like a Kyle Clifton signed couch cushion in the next ASMANIAC raffle. I'll have to talk with Kyle about that one. Ladies and gentlemen, are you kidding me? Am I putting the helmet back on? Bo is in the raffle for 20. Let's go.
It's the ASMANIAC membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Let's go. 20 more names. Holy crap. Bo, you are the man. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 names. Kutch, 13. T-Jet, 73. J-Man, Gary Bauer, C-Biz, Dave Balanza, Joel Mercado, Nestor Bodden, Dark Knight Zoe, Jamar Mason, John Malik, Alex Johnson, Carlos Santana, Ryan, Rudy Hartman, M.M. Morris, Ortho DPT 18, Ren T, Rich Proenza, James Parascondo, Scarlet Rogue, all receiving channel memberships. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you very much, Bo. That is very kind of you. Let's get to more of your super chats right now. Let me take my helmet off. Let me tell you, even with the hat, this thing is still so big when I wear it. It's like Mekhi Becton's old helmet. That's how big this thing is doing.
Especially
Anyway.
no padding in there. I'm sure it's like shaking around.
Yeah, it's insane. Big fella with a super chat. Jake, we have an edge problem, being we couldn't set one. Which guys do you see as being options? A Scarecrow would have done a better job than Clemens. Dylan, I defer to you on this because you study all these guys. Let's say the Jets are trying to find some defensive ends. We've talked a lot about the DTs. Break down some guys that maybe could be in play for the Jets at various points in this draft.
Okay, so this is going to be an unpopular one, so I'll get it right out of the way. But at 7, Buffalo asked me for a sleeper. Dude, Shamar Stewart is something else from Texas A&M. And I'm not just saying a Texas A&M guy because he went to the same school as Aaron Glenn, obviously. But when you're talking about a guy who's 6'5", 267, runs a 4.59. I know he was reported to run in like the high 4.4s, but a 4.59. And then you almost have 11-foot broad, 40-inch vert. The tape, I understand it's not fantastic. Like, I don't think Texas A&M uses their guys in the right way. Similarly to how we talked about Will McDonald coming out of Iowa State, not to the exact same degree of the same alignments and the same, pass rush strategies, but I just don't think they use Shamar Stewart to their best of their ability. And I'm looking at a guy like Aiden Hutchinson from Detroit. And when he went down, they went and they got a guy named Zadarius Smith. So I'm trying to find a guy who could replicate the two of those. And Shamar Stewart has the size and the speed and just the intangibles to me that you can't coach. Where if you can coach up the pass rush plan and the hand counters and just all the moves that he can do, I would think he's in play at 7. Maybe it's a little far-fetched, but I watched him at the Senior Bowl, and he only did 1 or 2 days of practice, and it was, obvious that he didn't need to finish the week of practice because of how good he was playing. So Shamar Stewart is one for me early on to watch. The Jets actually sent a couple scouts or coaches to the Louisville Pro Day today. And Ashton Gelati, I believe is how you say his name. He's an edge rusher, 6'2", 264, almost 79-inch wingspan. He didn't participate at the combine in terms of the agility drills, but 10-inch broad jump, 36.5-inch vertical jump. I'm excited to get into the tape of him, but if the Jets are at Louisville's Pro Day, I don't think it's for Tyler Shuck, I'll be honest. So I think this is a name that you could find in the early day 3 rounds to solidify your pass rush if you don't want to go right at the top of the draft. But if this guy falls to 42, he might be one of my run the card ups, and he's just getting too much first round buzz. But Donovan Ezeraku from Boston College, again, another Senior Bowl guy, so I had the eyes on him, which influences my decision. I'm not going to lie about that. But 6'2.5", 248, 82 3/4-inch wingspan. He ran a 4.19 short shuttle. And to put that into perspective, amongst the rest of the group, he ran a 4.19. The next highest was 4.33. So this guy is blazing fast when it comes to change of direction. He's not a huge explosive guy. His broad jump was 9 feet 10 inches. So not extremely explosive, but he's very agile. And again, 6'2", 248. He's more of the Will McDonald mold. So I'm not sure what their front is going to be, a 4-down front or a 3-down front. But if they want to do a 3-down front and have Ezeraku and Will McDonald as your outside linebacker types that rush the passer, but can also give you something in the pass coverage game, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I could see the vision there with Ezeraku. So that's just a couple names for edge guys there, big fella.
Good breakdown there, Dylan. Ace of Spade wants to know, how would you rate Tyler Warren's blocking ability?
It's definitely first round. I think, what's his name? Jackson Hawes, the Georgia Tech guy. He's the model blocker of the tight end group, in my opinion. So he's maybe not up to that degree, but I see no reason for him. Aesthetically, he looks almost like a Mike Allstott playing tight end. So if he doesn't give you anything in the run blocking game, I'd be surprised. But I do think it would be better than most, and he would be your number 1 pass catching tight end and probably your number 1 run blocking tight end right out the gates as the roster is currently constructed.
Before we get to some of your calls, reminder to vote in ASMANIAC Madness. Right now, we have Castro and Nate duking it out for a spot in the Sweet 16. Vote, vote, vote. Here's where we stand right now before we get to the calls. Castro with the lead, 62-38. 162 votes have been cast, but there's over 350 of you watching, so there's a lot of votes out there. And we're going to hear from one of the guys competing right now that could influence your voting decision. Nate, parentheses Nate, has called in, and he starts us off today. Hello, Nate.
What's up, Jake? What's up, Dylan? You guys hear me?
We hear you, Nate. It looks like it's a beautiful day in New York City right now. How we
it is quite beautiful. The 50s, it's spring-ish weather. Ladies got the short shorts out. I know Dylan didn't know me as Nate, but once the bike guy, I guess I'm just known as the bike guy to the less frequent callers. But I do like your takes, Dylan. I follow you on Twitter. You're one of the more sound content creators, less reactionary. Oh, don't do it, sir.
I appreciate that. Yeah, careful with that guy.
Yeah, I wasn't talking to you. You keep doing your thing. He was backing into me. I kind of missed most of the beginning of the show. How much am I down right now?
Nate, you are currently down. And remember, it ain't over till Charles Gorman farts around here, but you are currently down 61-39.
Oh, I got a battle. All right. I got a big daddy this. I might just get hit by a car, make everyone laugh. Like, he kept making the kid laugh. He's like, "What?" And then he just jumped in front of a taxi. I might do it. Just get the content. I might get the votes flowing. I got to do it with a car that looks like they got good insurance. Hold on. Oh! No, not you. This, I remember this block. I had some really bad incident on this block once. All right,
maybe you should go to Times Square and start just heckling.
Yeah, just hold my vote for Pedro sign. Vote for Nate. Ask people if they got YouTube. Oh.
You get a couple of new subscribers for me. You'll earn my vote. I'll make a fake account to vote for you.
All right, hold on. I got you.
Nate, what do you want the voters to know about you? Like, what's the biggest thing you would say to get them to choose you over Peter?
You guys have YouTube? I don't mean to bother you. Guys have YouTube? Do you have YouTube, like the app?
Yes.
Can you look up the Jake Asman show?
Jake Asman show?
Yeah, I'm in a really tight race, and if you could vote for Nate, I'm in a close poll. It would do wonders for me. I don't mean to interrupt your day. I'm sorry. It's like Asman, but minus one S, so Asman.
That's correct.
Yeah. Make sure you vote for Nate. That Peter Castro, he's a communist. Jake and then Asman.
Oh my God.
ASMAN. I got one vote for sure. That's him. I know. That's him. He looks like an uglier version of me. Yeah.
They're about to see
you'll
themselves.
Find he should be live.
Tell him to go to the most recent video that's live.
There you go. He's live right there. You click the live video.
How are you? Go Yankees. Nice hat.
And then in the live chat, you'll see a poll pop up. I don't know how you get to the live. Yeah. Nate's the good guy. I appreciate it. What's your name? Kay. Thank you so much. You got a phone? You get to it too. And subscribe to my man Jake. Thank you very much, Kay. I'm in a race. You can see. What's the poll? I need another vote. Oh, watch it, buddy. Hold on. They got YouTube right here. Hold on. Red light.
You're getting votes. Sean says this is why I voted for you. Nate says, or excuse me, Eric.
You guys have YouTube? Anyone got YouTube? Can you go to the Jake Asman show? If you got your phone out, Jake Asman show. You're visiting? Tourist? Habla español? Italiano? Me paisano, Siciliano. Hold on. We'll get another one. They were Italian. They could have done it, but I don't know. They might not have the right internet and whatnot. No way I get a biker's vote.
You're gaining a couple points here. It's working.
Okay.
Out there. There's still 350 people watching. Only 221 votes cast.
We stop at Gray's Papaya while everyone's eating a hot dog. I'm a block away. We can secure a couple of votes. Get the bus driver. Jake Asman on YouTube. Vote Nate. My guy. Vote. I love the MTA, baby. All right. Because they can't. If they're eating a hot dog, they can't run from me. They can't go anywhere. I got to get out of traffic.
You think Central Park would be a good spot to campaign?
Again, that's another tourist trap where it's like, do they even have internet? I'm already in the 60s and whatnot.
No, you're on 72nd,
I get these kids.
Right? I see the that's a 72nd.
Yeah.
Is it not? Yeah. Great area.
There's a casual mattress firm on 72nd.
That's been there forever. As one of the only businesses that's lasted forever.
You'll find a mattress firm literally anywhere.
You guys got YouTube? Yeah? Check out the Jake Asman show and vote Nate if you can right now. I'm in a tight race. Jake Asman, I'm live right now. Nate's the good guy. You guys play for the Gotham? You know who? The Blue Hawks?
Nate just talking to children. Love to see it.
Oh, I know you're talking for the Westside Little League, like all-star team. Yeah. You know the what's the light blue team with the Hawks? Bluebirds. Yeah. They're terrible though, right? That's the money team. That's the money team. They're trash. I know the Bluebirds. Yeah. Go Hawks, bro. Vote Nate. No shot. No one's eating a hot dog. Are you kidding me? All right, we'll get another one. Hold on. I'm trying to get as many votes as I can, fellas. Spread the word. Oh, we got the catcher, too. He's smart. Smartest one on the team. It's always the catcher. My guy. Fuck the Bluebirds.
Nate is the dude of all dudes. Vote for him.
All right, we're on 72nd. We got some votes right here. I need the young one. People got their phone out. This guy got
folks, don't worry. We will hear from Peter Castro right after this. We will give both candidates an even amount of time to make their case.
Nate, while you're campaigning, what's the craziest thing you've recorded while biking through New York?
So I used to do Twitch streams. Like, I used to live stream this stuff.
Oh, boy.
And I used to get in, like, serious altercations with people where, like, I'd try to have a conversation, and then we'd keep talking shit. And then the chat would just be like, yo, break his mirror. And then we'd snap that shit off. And then it'd end up, like, in a crazy race through hard. It'd be great. So there was lots of, like, that kind of content. Or, like, yeah, just, like, I got hit by a car once, and the guy pulled over. Like, it wasn't bad. He, like, hit my pedal and whatnot and, like, knocked me over. And one of my friends was streaming it. So he got me in, like, third person. And then the guy pulled me over like, whoa, what's your insurance? I was like, you hit me, buddy, and I don't have insurance. And he never even asked how I was. It was like this big back and forth. But it was like a 10-minute verbal back and forth on the street. But anyway, you're distracting me forgetting my votes, Dylan. But yeah, there's lots of those type of altercations of me doing what I do, riding somewhat recklessly, but in a safe manner. And cars being mad that they think I'm traffic. Like, I'm not traffic. They're traffic. I'm not traffic. I'm the water that flows through traffic. See, look, they're beeping at me right now. Like, he's traffic, bro. Fuck out of here. Ooh, Magnolia Bakery. We might be able to get some notes of Magnolia, but I go here a lot, so I don't want them to kick me out.
This is quite the comeback. 53-47. Nate has pulled
Turn me up.
6.
Turn me up. Hold on. No way this old man got YouTube. That is a bad stop. Hold on.
Ooh, I went on a date at that ice cream spot. You're about to pass right there.
Oh, let's go.
You guys have YouTube? YouTube? You don't have YouTube? All right, if you do, go to the Jake Asman show and subscribe for me. And vote Nate. Be great. Vote Nate.
Chef Kevin says Nate is a season ticket holder. Great dude.
Right? Look, I'm a season ticket holder. I haven't missed a snap in 25 years. What else does Neil say? Me and Fireman Ed will be on the front of the float. You know, Jets games are all that good stuff. All right, hold on. I don't want to bother that family. That's not a good look.
Go in the ABC building where ESPN New York used to be. That's coming up on your left.
You like turn on 67th or 66?
You just stay straight. You'll pass it.
Oh yeah, I see right here.
This is where I would work when I would be on ESPN New York. Coming up on the left-hand side here.
Well, so I don't mean to bother you. Do you have YouTube by any chance?
No.
No? All right.
Oh, YouTube?
YouTube.
Yeah, I do have YouTube.
I'm in a really close race right now.
All right.
My friend he's on the Jake Asman show. And if you could vote Nate, I'm in a tight race with this communist. He's a really evil guy. But if you could vote Nate, that would be major. Are you working right now? I don't mean to disturb your day.
Yeah, I'm working.
Okay. Whenever you get a chance. He's live right now. Jake Asman.
Jake Asman?
Yeah, you'll look it up. He's live right now. He'll be the number one guy you look up.
ASMAN?
Yeah. Jake A. It's one S, but yeah, same thing.
Nice shoes.
Jake Asman.
Love the shoes.
Yeah, those are nice shoes. I do agree, Jake. My friend Jake says you have great shoes. That's him. If you click the live one, you'll see the live chat. You'll vote Nate.
All right.
My God, what's your name? Danny. My name's Nathaniel. People used to call me Daniel, which is like Danny. Which is, you feel what I'm saying? Okay, have a good one, my man. Hey, my mariba. All right, here we go.
You need a sports bar, Nate. Someone just made a good suggestion in the chat.
Say it again.
You need to go to like a sports bar.
A sports bar. Okay, hold on. There's a bougie ass one right here, like PJ Clark's or something, right? Type of thing right here.
No, that's just a good restaurant.
Well, I'm in the bougie neck. I'm on your neck of the woods now. So you tell me the spot.
Go on 57th Street, All Star Bar and Grill. That's a sports bar.
57th and what? 57th and what?
57th and 9th. I took Craig from Australia, Bonesy.
57th and 9th.
That's where we went to watch the Knicks after the shoe stores challenge last year.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt people while they're like walking and getting home because then they're gonna vote Peter. So I gotta. Ooh, there's a bunch of people sitting right there. I could interrupt their day.
Jake, is this one of the most successful calls to earn votes in this whole tournament?
This has been the best call to earn. We have never had a deficit this great that's been now made up this close. It's 53-47 now.
Wow.
But I think a lot of people are waiting to vote until after they hear from Castro, which is fair. And we have Peter Castro standing by.
I don't mean to interrupt you real quick. Do you happen to have YouTube on your phone? Do you happen to have YouTube on your phone? I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. All right, never mind. Have a good day. She's a Peter Castro voter anyway.
Chef Kevin says Empire Hotel. I used to run the rooftop lounge.
Really? Did he actually?
Yeah, show everyone.
No, I know what he's talking about. That's the spot. That is.
I know, but the chat doesn't show. There it is.
Whoa! Watch out, sir. All the way up top, Hotel Empire.
Yep. There it is. Leon says Castro better get on a bike.
All right, we need. You said 57th and 9th?
Yeah. I'll come back to you as you get votes, all right?
All right, copy.
All right, let's continue the show right now, ladies and gentlemen. The only way I know how. We're going to hear from Peter Castro, but first, let's acknowledge this massive super chat from the Jeffrey coming through for the boom. Hold on, we need more than just one. There it is. We all know this team has more holes to fill. The stars have aligned for us to finally take our tight end of the future in round one. Warren's film reminds me of the blocking and hands of Mickey Schuler. Can't get from the iPad, so super chat it is. Jeffrey, we got you in the raffle for 10. If the Jets did take Warren very quickly here, Dylan, over Membo, would you understand it? You know what I mean? Like obviously your preference is trenches, or if they took Warren over Graham, would you understand it given where the rest of the roster is going into this draft?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year I wasn't completely opposed to Brock Bowers even. I was like, you know what, if you want to just say F it and get completely crazy, go get Brock Bowers. And maybe it's not to the full degree of let's get crazy, go get Tyler Warren. But I've said it before, you can be your true your inline tight end, your Y outside, your kind of your power slot. He could be your fullback. He could be your emergency quarterback. He can be your tush push quarterback. Like there's a lot of things you could do with Tyler Warren that get me excited. And I don't know, so many people the draft is more than one round. So if you don't get the guy or the position you want in round one, you can always get that position again. And I'm a firm believer there's plenty of tackles in rounds 2 and 3 that I would like to pair with Tyler Warren. So I'm cool with it for sure.
Jets really have not had a great tight end since Mickey Schuler, Jeffrey. So that would be nice. Bo checks in with a super chat. Dylan, solid points. Curious as to what you do to solidify our secondary, safety, corner, and what's your first pick in the second round?
Well, it kind of all ties in. I think you can go a lot of different ways at 42. After they signed Brandon Stevens, I don't think they're going to want to attack cornerback with a premium pick. I'm interested to see if they do consider safety at 42. Nick Emanwari is a really popular pick, the South Carolina Gamecocks safety. I'm a huge fan of his. I would love to take him if he's there at 42. Truthfully, I said it last night on Buffalo's show, I would trade up to 33 if he was, a guy that fell out of the first round. I know, after everybody has a night to think about it between night 1 and night 2, some weird trades happen at the top of the draft, usually for a wide receiver. But I could totally see Nick Emanwari being a trade-up candidate. I don't know if I would trade all the way back up into the first round for Emanwari. And I could also see him going as high as pick 13 to replace Javon Holland in Miami. But Emanwari is a guy at safety I would covet. Makuba from Texas I would like. Shout out Ricky NY because I know he likes Makuba. So there's a couple safeties I would attack in the 2 to 3 or 2 to 4 rounds of this draft. Cornerback, I don't think you need to. Truthfully, you have your 3 starters pretty solidified. And worst case scenario is Stiggers or JBC can play better than Brandon Stevens if he's slumping. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's just going to be an adequate starter for them. So I don't necessarily see a need to attack CB, but 42, man, there's so many different ways you would go. I think the only position I would completely rule out is cornerback at 42, but everything else is open.
Jets Johnny wants your thoughts on Matthew Golden, and then we check in with Nate's competitor, the 4 seed, Peter Castro.
Yeah, dude. Burner, 4.29 speed. I don't necessarily see it on film at 4.29 speed. I knew he was fast when you watch Texas, but I look across from him and I see Isaiah Bond, and I'm like, damn, where he's being projected in the 3rd round, Bond, I would much rather have the value of that than Matthew Golden. That being said, if the Jets wanted to throw a curveball, trade down a couple spots like we kind of flirted with earlier, and you acquire an extra 3rd or 2nd round pick, and you're able to get Matthew Golden at pick 12, even if Teteroa McMillan's still on the board. I don't necessarily love it. I would rather get a Negmeka Ibuka at that spot. But Matthew Golden, I mean, you can't go wrong. You're trying to find your Jamison Williams light, and potentially that could be the guy that you find. So I'm not in love with him, but I definitely wouldn't rule it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's set the stage for this next call. We needed overtime yesterday to decide a matchup. Are we headed to another OT session, perhaps? It is tight. Peter Castro leads 51-49. 379 votes have now been cast. Castro had about a 10-point lead before Nate called in on a bike and campaigned around Manhattan to get votes for himself. Ladies and gentlemen, we now say hello to the guy going toe-to-toe with Nate, parentheses Nate, the Peter Castro.
The biggest mistake they made is not firing this whole crew of shitheads before the season started. The coaches can't make decisions. They don't correct anything. I mean, this is a joke.
Peter.
I'm caught in the downpour. I'm going from condo to condo to get...
No.
Oh, no.
Not his internet now. This is the worst time for this. Oh, my God. Peter, I will say, I think this doesn't hurt Peter, though. I think this is so funny. He's going condo to condo. Peter, call back. We'll put you on immediately when we get him on.
I can just see him awning to awning, just like hiding from the rain. That's a good one.
Oh, that's so good. It was truly a downpour there. You need a gustbuster, Peter.
I was going to say, somebody said must be Florida, and that's entirely correct. It's got to be Florida.
Oh, my God. That was peak. Scoreboard update, 51-49, almost 400 votes that have been cast. And we had rules in place in case an ASMANIAC Madness game actually went to overtime. I don't think me or anyone on the committee thought with this many people that watch the show every day, it would ever actually come down to that. But it did yesterday. A legit overtime period was played between D's Nuts and One Punch Brigga, who needed 2 punches to take down D's Nuts. It went to OT, and it was Brigga 55, D's Nuts 44. But that was in the overtime session. The original battle was a 50-50 going in there with over almost 800 votes that were cast, as you see on the screen. So right now, it's 51-49. The overtime rules are 3 minutes of a new poll, and whoever's up after that is the declared winner. So that's where things stand if we need overtime, for those who did not see the show yesterday.
Wow, that's a nail-biter, true nail-biter fashion.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. If you're voting and not hitting the like button, you might be a communist. I'm not saying you definitely are, but you might be, and we can't rule it out. Ryan with a super chat. Castro is the man. Come on, guys. Do the right thing. Mr. Castro all day. What an amazing show, Jake. Also, congrats, Weed, on taking down that bum Cheats fan. Jeez. People coming at Cheats fan today. Let's check back in with Peter Castro. I don't know if he's there. Peter, do you hear us? Peter. Tough. I mean, he's trying to get votes in a downpour, though. You got to respect the effort.
Yeah, for sure. These guys are adamant competitors. Peter will bounce back, though, as soon as he gets his internet figured out.
All right, we will give Peter a couple more minutes here, then we'll check back in with Nate on the campaign trail. Let's say hello to Kyle Clifton, who's next. Hey, Kyle.
What's going on, Jake? How you doing, Dylan?
Kyle, before you give any take that's not related to ASMANIAC Madness, the world needs to know, who are you voting for?
So, I'm an old guy. Peter Castro is an old guy. I think I have to, like, as far as cranky old guys go, I think we need to stick together. So I think that I'll be voting Castro. That's who I had originally in my bracket.
Fair.
Question, like, I had to jump off for the first part of the show. Has there been a movement again away from Warren since I was distracted here? Or what's going on with? I see a lot of people in the chat saying it's too early to take Warren at 7, and that this is something we don't want to do now. To those people, I'm going to say this: this is not like most drafts. There aren't a ton of OTs, a ton of cornerbacks, a ton of wide receivers up top to take, right? So I hear that Dylan likes Campbell, but if our front office guys think that he's eventually a guard, then I don't know if he's someone that we would have interest in there at 7. I'm with you, Jake. I think going back a little bit is definitely the way to go if it's there. If not, it might have to be Warren, and that's the only thing I'd say about that. And further about some of the comments that I've seen before, I will gladly sign a seat cushion for Barbarossa. I haven't seen a red beard that glorious since I lived with a friend of mine back in the 90s, and I have great admiration for his beard game.
Kyle, bring the seat cushion to the draft party, baby.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Kyle Clifton with a good call. All right, I'm waiting on Peter Castro. I was told he needed the link. We put it in the chat a couple times. I'm going to keep throwing it in there for you, Peter. It's also pinned in its normal spot in the YouTube live section. It's 51-49 right now. Poll's been open for 30 minutes. 430 votes have been cast. Let's head now live to Manhattan, where Nate, I believe, is in Times Square standing by. Hello, Nate.
Went to the most populated place on earth. Try to get some more votes.
Nate, you're down 2. This could swing the entire thing.
All right, here we go, I believe. I don't mean to bother you guys. You guys have the YouTube app by chance? YouTube? You do YouTube? The YouTube app? Damn it. All right, next one. Not English. Excuse me, guys. Are you guys visiting? Welcome. I don't mean to interrupt. Do you have the YouTube app by any chance on your phone? I saw your phone app. I'm in a really tight race on a live YouTube show, and I could use your vote, or any couple votes. ¿Hablo español? ¿Sí? ¿Un poquito? Nate Nathaniel on Jake Asman show. Vote Nathaniel on YouTube. Yo soy Nathaniel. Sí, sí. Jake Asman show. I need votes faster, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. Do you have YouTube by chance?
Sorry?
Do you have YouTube by chance?
I do not.
You don't have YouTube?
I mean, I do, but I don't.
I'm in a really. I don't mean you don't mean to post. I'm in a really close race, and I could use your vote on the Jake Asman show.
I have never.
If you look up the Jake Asman, you don't even have to subscribe. If you could just vote Nate. I'm Nate.
I'll consider it, but then again, I don't really vote.
Okay, it's a live show, right? No, not the YouTube channel. I'm Nate though. I'm a caller. What's your name?
Edward.
Well, if you do, Edward, I appreciate your vote. This is not going well. It's too international over here. Hey guys, how you going? Go Yankees. Do you guys have YouTube by any chance?
I don't, man.
Really? I could use your vote. If any of you guys got the YouTube app, I'm in a really close race. Oh man. All right. We'll keep it moving to the next one. Go Mets anyway. Fuck the Yankees. He said fuck the Jets. That's a Peter Castro fan right there. Spider-Man. What's up, Papi?
What's up,
How we doing?
Jets?
You guys got a phone by any chance?
What?
You got YouTube? I'm in a close race. I could use your vote.
I don't have YouTube.
You don't have YouTube?
No.
That's crazy. All right, man. Have a good one. Who's this?
King Kong.
King Kong. Does he have YouTube? No YouTube for him? Jesus Christ. What are they doing with the basketball? Can I play them? What are we doing? Where's the hoop?
Times Square's been rough for you, Nate. Maybe try Central Park.
Yeah, this has not been good.
People just chilling on their phones, walking around the park on
All right,
a nice day like
let me
today.
get one. Or if I steal the ball from this guy, do I get a couple more votes? How many votes if I steal the ball from him?
Well, I can tell you, I think that will help your case here. There's still a bunch of people watching that haven't voted.
What's the game here? What's he got to do? Oh, yeah, Times Square is not good, bro. That's what I thought. Too many tourists, bro. That's what I thought was going to happen in Central Park.
Yeah, but the locals show up to Central Park when we get a nice day like this because there hasn't been enough of them.
Excuse me. I don't mean to bother you. Any of you guys got YouTube app by any chance? If you do, just go to the Jake Asman show. I can really use your vote. My name's Nate. He's on a live show right now. If I get like 5 more votes, it could change everything. On the Jake Asman show. On YouTube. It'll be live right now. You'll see it. Vote Nate. That's got it. That's 3 young girls. She got her phone out right now. It's happening. She's going to see what's going on. If you guys got YouTube, go to Jake Asman show. Vote Nate. Jake Asman show. Vote Nate.
Well, the 4%ers carry Nate to victory.
Yeah, you got YouTube, bro? You got YouTube, bro? Huh? Nah? Okay. You got the headset, though. Go crazy. Okay. All right. We got this is a little tight one. Oh, Nate, sir.
All right, Nate. We will check back in with you, all right?
All right, sounds good. I'll be getting votes.
Nate on the campaign trail right now. All right, back to the show we go. I got some great news for everyone. It appears like he has figured out how to call in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Castro time.
Furline, he stinks. Get him out of here. Aaron Rodgers, he's as bad as Simeon. He's not going to get better. He's 41 with a bad leg. He's terrible.
Peter.
Oh, my God. It's pouring here, but you know what, Nate? Jake, I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm getting on the bike.
Wow. This is big, folks. Let's go. Let's go, Peter. Yes.
In the rain. Boy, this is crazy. Be patient. Be patient.
Yes. This is what this tournament's all about. In the rain, he's getting on the bike. Let's go.
Oh, shit. Getting too old for this
last time you rode a bike?
I rode a bike.
This is amazing. He got on the bike. This internet's so bad, but it's great. It's just good enough to know he's on the bike. Peter, don't fall. All right, this tournament is not worth a broken hip.
Oh, this is not easy. But I'm on the bike. I'm on the bike like I said I was going to do. All right?
Don't worry about the screen while you're driving.
The president is out here and vote. They're all inside. Oh, my God. They so lucky. It's not open. Oh, it's terrible. How far I got to go on this bike?
Peter, you've gone above and beyond, man. This is an incredible performance by you. I don't know if you can hear me right now. Your Wi-Fi is probably not great.
No, I hear you. This is unbelievable. Look. What I do now is
we're delayed on our end, Peter. We're getting you like every 7 other words. But we see you're on the bike. We see you're outside. Now you're a little frozen. It's like in one dimension here. It's very, very pixelated.
I close my Wi-Fi.
Both our guys are on bikes. A live look at Nate and Peter Castro on bikes.
Peter,
trying to win their match.
That is tremendous.
All right.
His Wi-Fi got better when Nate came on. This is great.
Yeah, all of a sudden the
I'm lending him the hotspot. I'm lending him my hotspot. Holy shit!
I need your hotspot. I'm on the bike, Nate. What you make me do this for?
Did he get hurt? I did not encourage this at all. I was having a fair race. I did not encourage this. Holy shit.
Now
That
I'm
means
gonna
he's
knock
biking
on
one-handed
people's
too,
doors.
right? I know he's not got the phone on the handlebars.
Yeah.
Holy
No,
shit.
but
Wait, make sure you got your phone in your left hand so you can squeeze the right brake. I don't want you going over your front handlebars
my
by
left.
squeezing your front brake. Squeeze the right
Oh,
brake. Don't
yeah,
squeeze
true.
the left brake.
Peter's all gas, no
Hey,
brake.
listen, you cheat. You got an electric bike. This is not
That's true.
electric.
You cheat. This is incredible. Peter, I haven't seen you this happy ever. Look at that smile. on
Is
Peter
Alden still
Castro's
open?
already.
I'm trying to get 2 more votes at Alden's.
Alden's closes at 6.
All right, they're open. Is Bonesy there? Bobby, is Bonesy there today? Heads up, fellas. Thank you.
Bonesy's not there today. Joe Bonesy maybe is there. I
Joe
don't know.
Bonesy? I'll take a Joe Bonesy vote. A vote is a vote. Imagine I just got everyone in this whole crosswalk. I could have changed everything.
Peter, how's the bike? A great Castro delay. Look at this frozen shot on Peter Castro. There he is. There he is.
All right, we're at the Alden Shoe Store.
People looking at me like I'm nuts.
Tell them to vote for you, Peter. Tell them they got to go on the Jake Asman
It's
show.
Joe Bonesy. It's Joe Bonesy. It's Joe Bonesy. Joe Bonesy. He's a.
We're about to get a live look at Joe Bonesy, brother of Mr. Bonesy here, as we've arrived at Alden Shoe Store. We have both guys on a bike. Just to update the standings here, 52-48. Castro has a slight 4-point lead with almost 500 votes that have been cast. If you can't see the poll, refresh your YouTube browser and it will pop up in the live chat.
Look at Joe. He's a professional. He's a professional. He's not looking at me. He's not looking at me. He's a pro. He's laughing. He's a pro. That's a pro's pro.
Look at him. Where's Bonesy at?
Did you see him laughing? Holy shit.
This is an all-time show, folks. If you're not subscribed to this channel after this, I don't know what to tell you.
Let me not fuck
You're
up
not
this
getting
sale.
this
I'm
anywhere
not
else.
gonna be crazy.
Imagine if the Jets were ever good.
All right, what was I going to say?
This guy's giving me his phone.
Hold
This
on,
guy's
let's take a
giving me
look
his phone.
at Peter Castro.
Vote Nate on the Jake Asman show on YouTube. Vote Nate.
Both candidates are campaigning on the ground.
Incredible.
Florida.
I'm on the ground right now.
New York City. This is what it's all about. Peter, how are we feeling? You seem like you're a little out of breath.
Are you kidding?
Joe Bonesy.
Out of breath.
I'm on the
I'm
campaign
wet.
trail.
I'm going into
Wait,
tunnel.
are you? Yeah, I need your vote.
Okay.
I need your vote right now.
I need you to do something.
Yeah, I need
Me.
your vote.
Look,
Big one. Text phones.
this.
On to the next
Jake,
one, Joe. Do your
Jake,
thing. I just got to
Wait a
vote.
minute, wait a
I got to vote. I
Jake.
got to vote. I got to vote.
Yes,
I got to
Peter.
vote.
Jake,
I got the Joe Bonesy
this
vote.
is my. This is. Why aren't you coming in? Can you see my neighbor?
Yes,
There he
yes,
is. Now
you're
go
full
inside. Go on the Jake Asman show.
Okay.
All right, it's live, and there's a thing there to vote for either me or Nate. Make sure you vote for me. All right?
We'll go for Nate.
No.
No. Okay, I'll vote for you.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
gotta
great
walk
job,
around.
Peter. You got to vote. There you go.
That was incredible.
What if I just get on a
Grassroots
train? If I get on the train going north, I could get 200 votes. They can't run if they're on a train going home.
Yeah, but the subway will have terrible internet in between.
No, the
stops.
Metro North. The Metro North. They're going up Poughkeepsie. There's no way they're getting off that train.
I
You
would
have
go
to wait
to-
another hour.
I would go to Penn Station if I were you.
I'm at Grand Central right now. Vote Nate on the Jake Asman show on YouTube. Vote Nate.
Hi. This is the whole. Look at this place. Oh.
All right, we're going into Grand Central. I'm making the move. I'm making the move to Grand
Rain.
Central. Actually,
All right.
I bring my phone.
Nate headed to Grand Central. Peter walking around the neighborhood in Florida getting votes. This is one of the great competitions we've ever seen, folks. 53-47 now. Castro has gained another point. I wonder if Peter Castro, above and beyond getting on the bike, is influencing some of the votes, because Nate, when he got on the bike, he basically cut a 10-point lead to like 3, I think Castro getting on the bike and campaigning himself is winning back some votes as well. This is incredible.
If nothing else, we're encouraging exercise here on the Jake Asman Show, and it's working out for both of these candidates.
If you're watching this live right now, we just lost Peter Castro. When he reconnects, we will put him back on. We got Nate headed to Grand Central. If you're watching this live right now and you're not subscribed to my channel, how dare you? Please subscribe. More importantly, if you want to meet some of these people that are competing in the greatest tournament in all sports, buy a draft ticket before we sell out. Yeah, go to T Squared Social. Tell them I say hello. Even better, go to Clinton Hall where we're doing the draft party on West 36.
Yeah, I'll go to Clinton Hall.
Only in the Jake Asman Show. Big fella writes in. This is why Castro's the GOAT.
Can I get your vote on YouTube on the Jake Asman Show? It's live right now. I can really use your vote. I'm Nate.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm Nate. Okay. If you go on the Jake Asman Show, you'll see it.
We'll look it up.
All right, if you can, it's live right now. It's a big. I'll walk the bike.
Thank you very much. No, you go fast too.
No, I'll walk it. I'll walk it. No, yeah, okay. I got you. Vote Nate. What's your name? Will. Appreciate you, Will. Vote Nate. Go Jets, baby. Vote Nate on the Jake Asman Show on YouTube.
No, you got to tell him to click the most recent video and then it's in the live chat. Make it easy for him.
All right, we walked the bike enough. We walked the bike. Okay. That is a great hat. I love your hat. You have YouTube by any chance?
What?
YouTube. Hablo español?
Sí.
Tengo YouTube. On the phone, YouTube? The videos? No?
No.
Okay. Gracias. Buen día.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Castro back with us. Peter, are you done campaigning around the neighborhood?
I'm going to try as soon as it's raining again. So as soon as it stops, I'll go back out if you're still on.
Do you have an umbrella?
Yeah, I can go by foot, but then I got to... You don't understand. I'm the president of the association. I was like an idiot.
This is what great competition is all about, Peter. This is what you call all year for. Moments like this.
I think I got to get back on the bike.
The bike got you a lot of points. Leon said, I never thought Castro would ever get on a bike.
Why not?
In the neighborhood, do they call you President Castro?
No. Well, no, they don't. They just call me Pete.
Terrence says, I just saw Peter Castro ride right by my spot. Michael says, Peter about to start doing DoorDash.
Yeah, I'm going to do DoorDash. You know what I should have done is I should have went down to the bar over here and done the same thing. Or I can go to if the pool. See if it was sunny here, there'd be like 20 people at the pool that I'd be able to get to do it. But it's not. So
we just hit over 500 votes. Castro leads 52-48. So this is tight. This is where we were yesterday, and it ended up being 50-50. Roseanne writes in, Nate has become the modern-day Paul Revere. Leon says, Peter has that 2001 cell phone Riz. Henny writes with a super chat, we needed Fields here sooner. Look at Peter Castro now. That's right. You're like Justin Fields on that bike, Peter. We haven't seen you move like that ever.
Oh, forget it. What are you kidding? I make Justin Fields look sick.
Michael Perez, this is the greatest YouTube channel ever. Once again, thank you to everyone watching. Imagine if the Jets were ever good and we got to do fun stuff like this with a winning team. Ted writes in, Peter could get the GILF vote, Nate the youth vote. That could decide this thing, Ted, and not a bad point. Leon says, if Nate goes to a sports bar, this could be a problem. Henny says, never thought I'd see the day Peter is positive and Jake is negative. Now, we don't have Nate right now. His internet is buffering. I wonder if the internet connection inside Grand Central is not great. So that is what we're waiting on. A big super chat is just coming through the pipeline here. JYB says, 2010 Jets, my fave as well. You're in the raffle for 10, JYB. I'm really warming up to Warren at 7. Hope the scouting background rings true and we get studs. Peter Castro, how about a Jet take? How would you feel about Tyler Warren at 7?
I love Tyler Warren at 7. That's who they should take. They got to take some offense, and if they don't take him and they take the lineman, I'd be happy too.
Armin Membu or Will Campbell?
Will Campbell.
You're a Campbell guy. I like it. Dylan agrees with you. Dylan agrees with you.
Absolutely.
JYB, thank you very much for the super
Dylan,
chat.
make sure you vote for me.
Oh, I absolutely did, man. I got to stay true to my bracket. I had you going into this thing, and then I have you facing Weed. I have you facing Weed, right? That's who you'd be playing in the next round. I just clicked out of it, but I have you for sure, and I already voted for you. I made sure.
Well, if I face Weed, I'm going into the hospital. That's the only way I'm going to win.
Nate is back. We can see him. Nate, are you there?
I did, yeah. It was not great service down in Grand Central, so we got to secure the vote on the street.
Tom Ace writes in. There's actually a pretty good point because I will be there. Nate, go over to MSG. There's a Knicks home game at 7:30. Peter, is that your wife who's on the phone now?
No. Just switched. Yeah, that was.
On my way, Tom. I'm about to get all the Knicks fan votes.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. We got Peter Castro now. He's sitting back on the couch. This is such a baller move by Cat. He doesn't need to campaign anymore. He's like, I got to lead. I'm up. My body
that was wildly impressive, though. Getting on that bike was wildly impressive in the rain. In the rain, nonetheless.
Should I do it again?
You got a unicycle?
It's not. He's got an electric bike.
Yeah, I'm cheating.
He's on his way to the garden right now, folks.
When you first called, I thought you were getting on like a stationary bike in the garage, and then you started moving on that thing. I was like, all right, we're in business.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, I'll tell you that.
Cynthia says,
Wait,
Peter,
where's
tell
Clinton
the
Hall?
family to vote.
What's that?
Cynthia says, tell your family to vote.
They all voted. There's 5 people that voted, most of them in New York, and most of them down here.
Jake, where's Clinton Hall? I'm on 36th.
Clinton Hall is on West 30. I think it's
West 132.
16 West 36th Street. Let me tell you
All right,
exactly what the cross streets
Get a
are.
live sneak peek, and we'll get some votes there.
You're looking at it's in between, Nate. It's in between 5th
and 6th. 5th and 6th.
Yeah, 5th and 6th. Yep.
I'm from the city. If it's 16, Jake, that the numbers start right on 5th Avenue, west of 5th Avenue. If it's 2 west, that means it's right off 5th Avenue. So if it's 16, it's between 5th and 6th.
Correct.
I know you're a Long Islander.
I just wanted to make sure we had it right.
All right, we're going to go to live and preview.
You're in Long Island?
I'm out of Long Island. I'm from Long Island, man. Joe
Dylan,
Boji
you
says, Dylan,
No,
he's not Long Island either.
No.
Joe Bonji says, sorry, Peter, had to vote for Nate.
Clinton Hall.
I was going to go buy 10 pairs of shoes. So tell them that. Those overpriced shoes.
Ooh.
Let's see. Weed the people with a super chat. Peter, get a scooter. You could join the scooter squad. Peter, would you ever ride a scooter for votes?
Sure. I have a what do you call it?
This place looks kind of neat.
A Nespa. Vespa.
A Vespa.
Oh, yeah, one of those mopeds, yeah.
A live
Roseanne
tour of
is
Clinton
asking
Hall.
for both of you to pop wheelies to decide who she should vote for.
I didn't hear that, Jake.
Can you pop a wheelie, Peter? That's what Roseanne needs for you to get the vote.
I could, but I'm not gonna. I don't feel like spending the night in the hospital.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate has arrived at the venue for where the draft party is going to be, Clinton Hall, where everyone should get their ticket. If you, like me, and want to support what we do around here, come to the draft party on April 24th.
I just look around. I'm going to be at a venue here next week. A big party with a friend. So I just want to take it in. The Jake Asman show, the draft party, or it's in like 3 weeks, April 26th, I think, on a Thursday. Thank you very much. We got big screens up here. The next 4 tables. Some upstairs, the back. I got some games.
To those saying it's empty, it's 5:30 on a Tuesday. It's a sports bar.
Ice ball, ski ball, football.
When's opening day, Jake?
Baseball's Thursday.
How about the Mets?
Jenga.
Mets in action. Yankees play at home Thursday. Mets are in Houston.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Is that?
Yep. All right.
Thank you for
All
the
right.
tour of the facility there, Nate.
Yeah, I'll go to Penn Station, secure them votes.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to update the scoreboard here. It's 52-48. Castro still leading. We will check back in with each of you in just a bit. Nate, continued success on the campaign trail. Castro, if you get back on the bike, we'll put you right on. You tell me when.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Castro. Nate, parentheses, Nate. What a performance. Bravo. Bravo. Dylan,
The best head-to-head matchup
your
yet.
thoughts. Break it down.
This is nuts. I feel like I've come on for a couple good matchups so far in the couple, like, was it 3 or 4 shows we've done so far? But this one might take the cake. I mean, both of these guys getting on bikes. Nate does this consistently, but Peter Castro, man, he surprised me when he pulled out the bike and started going, because 1 minute it was raining and he was hiding under somebody's like awning, and then next he's out there campaigning on the trail. So I think it's incredible. A1 content for an A1 community.
Mother effing Chew writes in, just received my signed jersey and other cool stuff, Jake. Thank you. Chew, congrats to you on winning the signed Sack Exchange jersey. I'm glad it arrived today. Kikuka Lake Jet fan says, calling people a communist but wanting us to vote for a Castro. Well played. Kikuka Lake Jet fan.
That's why I asked if they called him president. Like, there was a president that wasn't so good with that last name.
I would just like everyone to subscribe to the channel and like the video before you vote. See, like, here's the thing. There's 241 likes, but 539 votes. You should have to like the video to vote. I mean, it's like you should have to show voter ID to vote in this country. You should have to like the video to vote in the poll. I mean, to me, it's the same thing, but I digress. All right, Dylan, you gave us an hour and 15 minutes of your time as you're about to move, so I truly appreciate it. If you're going to be watching in the comments, you let us know your thoughts as it's playing out, but I know you're in the middle of moving, so thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, yeah. I'm immediately going to switch over to YouTube, formally cast my vote, and then I'll have you guys on in the background as I'm packing. So I'll be up to date with this one, because I can't. This is a nail biter. You can't put this one down.
No, I mean, we had overtime yesterday, so we know it's possible.
No. I appreciate you, Jake, and I'll see you in 2 Tuesdays.
Can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan Tereman, who does a great job. Follow his work. Watch him with Buffalo Jet Fan on Mondays. Him and Glenn Naughton, Jet Nation Live. Check that out. We'll get to more of your calls. Let me hit on a few super chats here. This one is from BS Shep23. Justin Fields, best 17 consecutive game stretch. 34 touchdowns, 4,327 yards, 12 interceptions, 4 lost fumbles, 92.6 passer rating, 8-4 over the last 12 games. Go Jets. Yeah, look, there's upside there. We know this, but I don't like the last 17 consecutive. It's not how that works. But I see what you're doing. I like it. It fits the Fields agenda. I hope Fields is great. There's upside. He was the guy to sign if you were going to move on from Rodgers. I'm not getting my hopes up. Big fella says, Dylan, just wait until I go against Charles. Big fella trying to take out the number 1 overall. See, we had a 1 seed go down. It can be done. If you're watching live, hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Let's get the perspective of some Asmaniacs on who they're voting for, because, folks, we have 545 votes that have been cast. It's 52-48 right now in this matchup. PBM, first up this segment. What's up, PBM?
Yo, with the matchup, I'm waiting until the last minute to vote.
Wow.
I went into it thinking leaning Castro. Now I'm leaning Nate. So I'm gonna wait till the last minute to cast my vote. But really, truly, some good calls as they're campaigning. Really, really good stuff.
What swayed you with Castro?
Something about the OGs, man. They've been around longer. They suffered longer than us. So that to me is a tiebreaker, I think. I don't know. Castro's the man. Nate's the man too. Nate does a lot for us. So, we'll see. But yeah, talking about the draft, I feel like every year something crazy happens in the draft. And I can't shake the feeling that Sanders is going to be there at 7 and they're going to wind up taking him.
I'd be shocked.
I don't know. I feel like it's crazy that it happens. Something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah, but I just too many teams that need quarterbacks in front of the Jets for that to happen.
Yeah, but I don't.
Hold on, Mike. StreamYard's acting up. Yeah, I mean, look, anything can happen in the draft, so sure. but I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going tomorrow, right, against David T.
Let's check that. That sounds right. Let's take a look at your region here. You are going tomorrow on the second show. We got Leany and Neil in the AM, you and David T in the PM.
Man, what do I got to do to beat David T? Oh man,
Maybe get on a bike.
I don't have a bike.
maybe jump into that green pool of yours again.
Oh god, it probably is green. I gotta rip the cover off then. Maybe I'll figure something out. I'll do something. I was thinking maybe I break dance on the show because I used to break dance.
Ooh.
You know,
Dress up as Purple Clown Mike again?
I'll lose votes with the clown.
You think?
Yeah, that sucked. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, that was a tough look for you.
That was tough. Yeah, I'm surprised Gator didn't turn that around.
Well, speaking of Gator, I have in front of me here a live look at Peter Castro on his bike.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I love this show, man. More calls right now. Ricky NY is next. What's up, Ricky?
Well, man, you know what? If Aaron Glenn wants speed, maybe he should draft Gator because the speed at which he makes those things is absolutely insane. Like, how the hell did he do that so fast? That's just crazy. Man, props to both of the guys. Let me tell you what, being in Florida, going out for a bike ride in a Florida rainstorm is no small feat. So props to Castro for that. Man, this is a really tough one. I like both guys. This is a really tight matchup. Be interesting to see who pulls this one out.
Did you cast your vote, Ricky?
Yes, I did.
And you went Castro or Nate?
I'm going to keep my vote to myself because I like both guys. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but
I don't think either of them will be offended.
I went with Nate. I went with Nate. I've known Nate longer, had more interactions with him, but Castro is great. I'll tell you what, it was a really tough decision. It took me up until a couple of minutes ago to actually vote. It was that much of a decision, but yeah, I had to go with Nate. But that being said, man, I was kind of hoping I would still get on when Dylan was here, so I could kind of address his thoughts on the draft. And you know what? Me personally, I think this whole Membu thing is kind of like a smokescreen. The thing is I know the Eagles won in the trenches, but you know what the Eagles didn't do? They didn't reach for a right tackle in the first round. Like, show me their first round right tackle. And it's just like all about positional value. Like, if it was a left tackle at 7, absolutely. But a right tackle at 7, no. And man, I hate to say it, but because of positional value, what we're probably going to see is we're going to see like the rich get richer and, watch Eamon Worry go to the Eagles and Jihad Campbell, the linebacker, end up going to Detroit. And some good teams are going to get some really good players because of that positional value thing. Because off-ball linebacker and safety is just don't get picked at the top of the draft. That being said, people will say the same thing about positional value, like you don't take a tight end at 7. But let me tell you what, Tyler Warren will help in the run game as well as the pass game. And a prospect like that, I think you absolutely do take at 7. We need offensive weapons. They're, debatable whether there's a wideout that's worth that spot. But yeah, I think Tyler Warren is absolutely the choice for us at 7.
Well, Ricky, I'll tell you what, Nate's better half has written in, Ricky, you made a good choice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, I've known Nate a long time, and yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky NY.
Oh, shit.
Now, Gator writes in that the shit by Castro is the actual one he said when he first got on the bike. Legend. That was an incredible moment, man. David Atkins checks in with a super chat. Jacob, my brother and I passed out at the draft party. Please check the left coat pocket, a.k.a. directions to the hotel. You got it, David. All right, more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we got about 30 minutes left in the show or so. I'm going to the Garden tonight for the Knicks, so we can't do a 3-hour soiree here. But ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is one of the greats. Who's he voting for? We find out hopefully now.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's
Mikey,
so
don't
beautiful.
touch anything.
I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Jake, I'm not touching anything.
Yes,
yeah.
It's working.
Jake, I want my buddy to win. My buddy.
Nate or Peter Castro?
Who's Peter Castro? I don't know.
The guy on the right.
I think Nate. I want my buddy Addy.
He's not in it.
Addy. You know Addy?
Oh, I know Addy. He's not competing though. It's Nate versus Castro today.
Well, I like Nate because he's my little homeboy. He's gonna pick us up for that game the thing. Nate's gonna pick me up. If Castro is picking me up, if he can pick me up, he will love me. He will love me. And Bobby, too.
Now we can't hear you. How does that happen? I don't understand. Mikey, we can't hear you, but we got your official vote on the record. Mikey Midnight said he's taking Nate, parentheses, Nate putting his hands up on the bike as a sign of appreciation.
Mikey. Yeah, I'll give Mikey this. He was the quicker Woodruff brother with the answer and the vote. That's what I needed from a so-called friend of mine.
I love it. That's a big endorsement right there. That could influence votes. Right now, Nate, you're down 52-48. It is tight, though. Do you have a rally in your bones here with 30 minutes to go in the show?
You got YouTube? YouTube vote Nate, Jake Asman show? The question is, if the people have the rally. I'm in it to win it, but I need the people's vote. You got YouTube? You don't got YouTube? All right. Can't even get a biker's vote, bro. Oh.
Speaking of bikers, Jersey Jet is on the line on a bike. Jersey Jet, did you vote for Nate as a sign of respect for a fellow biker?
Out of solidarity, I voted for Nate. Man, that's my e-bike brother. Let's
I
go.
got yours. Hey,
Nate,
you got another one.
Let's go.
Yeah,
how many votes is he
bikers
down?
are violent.
Hey, Jake, how many votes he down? I'm going to try to get him some votes.
53-47 right now.
Yo, swing the state of Jersey for me. Swing the state of Jersey for me.
I'm going to find him some votes. Give me a second.
Bro, let me send you a pair of
Hey, yo,
headphones.
you guys on YouTube? You guys on YouTube? Oh, man. Long way. I'm going to find somebody. Can you hear me, Jake?
Yeah.
Too well. We hear you too well.
We hear you. That your headphones are giving like some feedback, though, is the only thing. But we'll stay with it a little while longer.
Wait, let me cut it off.
Let's see if we can get this audio figured out here.
You hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
All right. Now let me turn you up.
Much better.
I'm an old man, so I don't ride as reckless as Nate. He might have you too. Anybody use YouTube over here? Anybody use YouTube? Anybody use YouTube? Bro, you use YouTube? Bro, you use YouTube? You use YouTube? Could you go on this live and vote for somebody for me? Jake Asman. Come on, Jake. I appreciate you too, brother. Yes. Nah. Not with me. All right, Nate. Yes. Got you.
Come on, guy,
Can I
Jared.
subscribe?
Getting it done.
And I got a subscription for you, Jake. And a like. Let's go.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
I did my part. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Let's go. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Roll on the roll up. I was holding down to hit him home.
Where in Jersey are you, Jersey Jet?
You too? Nah.
Peter, are you there? Peter. Peter, call back. Look at Nate. This is a tight squeeze, Nate. Hold on. Peter's on the line now. Peter.
We made it.
Peter, unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'm here.
There it is.
I'm here. I'm here.
They're suggesting that you go to the condo board and get some votes there.
That's what I'm doing. They're all doing it now.
Almost 600 votes have been cast. 591. It's 53-47. So despite Jersey Jets' attempt of being on the biker gang in support of Nate, it has not swayed the voting just yet.
Well, wait a minute. I'm going back on the bike.
Oh, here we go. This is a full screen moment. Castro's going on the bike. It appears like the rain in Florida has stopped. Here we go.
Drizzling. Okay, here we go. Egg?
We see you, Peter. It's going a little in and out here. In and out. We can see the nice frozen image of Peter Castro. We know he's on the bike. Looks like Nate's back in Times Square.
What if I get their vote? Their vote's got to count as two. One for the N, one for the Y. Oh, Times Square is a wild place.
You get a little closer to her. The people in the chat are asking.
Times Square is a wild. I don't think they have YouTube. They ain't got a phone on them. They're approaching the right gentleman now.
Oh,
I want a vote. I want your vote.
5 more.
You have YouTube. You have YouTube.
Hey.
But you have it on you. Can you go on the Jake Asman show and vote for Nate?
We got Castro.
How much money for your vote?
We got Nate talking to us.
$50 for your vote?
$50.
$50 for a vote? How much for a blowjob?
Your mother.
Whoa,
Your mother.
Family show. Family show.
Oh, that ain't nice. What'd you say that for?
Calm your freaky down.
Oh my God.
50 for a vote. I'm getting scammed. Bro, Times Square is not a safe place anymore. Times Square is not a safe place anymore. Do not bring your children. Holy shit.
I can't believe Nate said that. I'm on the air.
Film you going by. Go ahead. Coming
Whoa!
around.
Yes, Peter Castro's lovely lady is now filming him on the bike. Here we go. We're going full screen on Castro now. This is big. Here we go. Look at this. Lance Armstrong Castro, folks. It's a whole different ball game. Look at this. This is incredible.
Have them vote for you.
A live look at Peter Castro on the bike.
He's on YouTube. You have to vote for him.
Are we teaching him how to ride a bike? Is that what
No. It's a jet show.
Oh, I'll vote for him. What is this? StreamYard.com?
No, Jake Asman show on YouTube.
How many people are live right now?
About 400, Jake.
Wow. Nice.
There we go.
539 right now are watching this live.
539 are watching.
If we get to 500, we'll take the training wheels
It's
off.
over 500. 539.
300 on YouTube, 200 on Twitter.
Jake Asman show.
Jake Asman show.
Go to the live chat. Vote for Peter.
Thank you. Jake Peter?
Peter.
Yes. Let's see it on the chat.
Peter Castro on the bike. Nate still moving around the city. A live look in at him. This competition is heating up as we have reached the final 25 minutes of the show.
There's not a lot of people out in the rain.
The pool was open. How much more time is left?
About 25 minutes, Peter.
Jake?
25 minutes.
I thought you said 5 minutes. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Castro's headed back to work, as is Nate. We will check back in with them in just a little bit. But right now, we want to hear from Asmaniacs weighing in on who they're voting for. Party with Peg and Artie. Artie, who are you voting?
Jake, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Asmaniacs. It was tough because, Nate, his bike camera and audio is better than most people's living rooms. It's unbelievable. And Peter Castro made some of the greatest, funniest phone calls in the history of the show. The drug addict, I can't even name them all. I voted for Peter Castro. I went with the OG. No disrespect to Nate, who's an unbelievable guy. This dude drove Bobby back to Vermont after a get-together. Yep. Vermont.
It's incredible.
Not Long Island, not Brooklyn, Vermont. So, that just tells what kind of dude he is. So, but I voted for Peter Castro. Peg voted for Peter Castro. The drug addict call won me over. That's one of the things that hooked me to the show back then was Peter Castro, believe it or not, with his phone calls. And of course, it's you with the he stinks. I'll never forget that either. It was awesome. But as far as the Jets go, Jake, I'm a little concerned about one thing. Well, two things, actually. First of all, I'm counting on the Jets having the worst coaching staff the last year or two. Like, historically bad. Because they couldn't run block to save their lives. And I don't know if it's just because bad coaching and they checked out, or if maybe our offensive line ain't that great at run blocking, which it got me a little concerned. I hate to, think that, but, I guess time will tell. We'll see how AG coaches them up and whatnot. So
yeah, I think the scheme was horrendous. Keith Carter was the run game coordinator. They were just a mess. There she is. Hello, Peg. Hi. I think it will be better this year. That's because everything they're doing is based around seemingly to try and run the football with Fields and some of the other, especially if they take Warren or if they take another lineman at 7. I think they'll be much better this year there. I can't answer about the rest of the coaching staff. I have no idea. They're all unproven until I see it.
Yeah. I'm just hoping they take weapons. How long has it been since I know you're saying that when was the last time the Jets took anybody good at pick 2 in the second round? And that all well might be true, but I mean, we really need weapons. I think they could coach up the defense. I like the lineman we got from KC. I'm kind of happy with the tight end they got. He's an up and comer. He didn't play a lot, but when he played, he made a good impression on the Chiefs fans. The San Diego fans, and hopefully he could be good too. But anyway, I just wanted to call and show my support for Peter, Nate. Also, they're both super good guys. The show.
Peg, you going with Peter Castro?
Yeah, for some reason, he reminds me of somebody I worked with.
Yeah, Peg. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Peter personally, but he reminds us of an old retired cop that used to work at a Peg's spot up there in Brooklyn. And, he might be him. But anyway, I don't know.
I love it. Well, you know what? Great call to both of you. And Artie, this is for you.
Our coaching staff stinks. The team is never prepared. They're undisciplined. They make a million mistakes. And the coaching staff is terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hackett and him are like having two drug addicts on the sidelines. They're no good. And if Rodgers doesn't fix this, we're all going to kill ourselves. What happens after Rodgers? They have no plan for that. It's going to be 10 more years of being the shit.
Well, the plan is that Peter Castro's all in on Justin Fields. So maybe it won't be 10 more years of being for shit, according to Castro. We'll find out. Nick Shine writes in, forget the Knicks game. How much to get you to stay on all night? We can't have this end. Tell you what, there is a price. I don't know what that price is, but there is a price. Let's pause ASMANIAC Madness to shout out, the head of our committee for ASMANIAC Madness. Adrian writes in, hey, Jake, it's Boomtown/Boomer's birthday today. Can you wish him a happy birthday? Happy birthday to Boomtown. Everyone better give this man love in the chat. If you've enjoyed ASMANIAC Madness, if you've enjoyed the monthly rankings leading up to this tournament, Boom is the guy that makes it all happen. I didn't even know it was his birthday. He's too humble of a guy to even say it's his birthday. So happy birthday to Boom in the chat. You are a legend, Boomtown. And if Bobby Midnight was on hold, we'd have Bobby come on to sing. But he is not currently on hold. So happy birthday to Boomtown. I invited Boomtown to the draft party, and I said I'd pay for his plane ticket and fly him out, but he's unavailable, unfortunately. I tried to get Boomtown to come to the ASMANIAC draft party next month. Shout out to Boomtown's wife for letting us know. Boom, you're the best. None of this happens without you, so we all appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, more calls. It's about time we get the opinion of a very polarizing figure. Because right now, it's anyone's ball game. It's 53-47 with Castro having a lead. Who's this guy endorsing? We find out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Beast Breaker time.
Beast Breaker. 666. He's the man who would kick your ass. And then he'd goo.
Peter Castro will be voted in. I'm sorry to say it, but he's got my vote. I'm voting for Peter Castro.
You guys have come a long way, Beast. This is significant. You guys went at it back in the day.
I understand that, but I'm going to give the old guy a try. Why not? Well, why complain over spilt milk when you can go to the store and get it fresh for free?
Yeah, put him back on.
People
Shut
need to
up
be
for
learning.
5 minutes.
Why?
Shut your big mouth for 5 minutes.
How about you blow out your left nostril? How about you do this? Go turn your ass around and go walk the left line. How you like that, man?
Mouth for a fat, ugly prick.
Yeah,
you pick on Bobby? What are you picking on him for? Shut up.
You gotta learn his
You don't
lesson.
know shit. When I talk, you suck up.
I got a
If
bigger
you know
dick
what's good
than
for
you,
you.
little-
You don't come on here screaming and yelling at him, you overweight piece of shit, you big mouth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The only thing
Keep
you
talking,
can
asshole.
go stick is a
Keep
donut up
talking,
your
asshole.
ass.
You won't be here too long.
Keep talking.
right.
What did Bobby do to you, asshole?
I put
I
bitches
know
like
you're
you
a
in
champion
check.
of all sports we never heard of. You got 30 years of coaching. You did this, you did that. You know what you did? You did shit.
Because I've learned
That's
more
what
than
you
your
did.
fat ass
You
can
did
do,
shit.
best
You don't know nothing about the Jets.
I'm like the Tony
You know nothing
Soprano,
about
Paul
sports. You know
Wallace,
what you are?
Dr.
You're an
Combine.
asshole. That's all you are.
This guy, I think his mother dropped him on his head when he was a kid. I tell you that much.
The way he talks, he shouldn't even be on the air.
This has been some show, man.
Two very proud men.
You know what? I think I'm going to take that back.
You guys have come a long way since then.
I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to go with Nate on this one because, you know, in the words of Vince McMahon, sometimes we may not see eye to eye. You know, somebody has to do it. But I don't want to take up everybody's time because you got to go to the Knicks game tonight because the Knicks are playing the Hornets at Madison Square Garden.
They're playing the Mavericks, but close.
Hey, Knicks, let's get a goddamn win tonight. That means get your heads out of your ass. And
You know what time it is? A beast breaker, 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
I'll give Beast credit. That was one of the funniest quick liners he's ever had. When I played the clip, he comes back and he says, I'll take that back. That was amazing. Jay Quest, I see your super chat. So Jay Quest sent me a $20 Venmo yesterday that was supposed to be used for a hole for Beast. So he sent the super chat that says, Jake, don't forget. But that was too good of a call. So I just refunded you your $20, Jay Quest. I'm about to say Beast to the hole before I got a chance to play that one. I'm going to have to take that back. Oh, that was a good line by Beast. More calls, shall we? Let's get the official endorsement from Ryan, who's next. Ryan, who you got?
Hey, what's up, Jake? What's going on? I got the official endorsement for Peter Castro. He's a legend. You just can't disregard what he's done for the community. That $500 super chat for Lazard. I mean, the guy's the best. OG, true OG. I love Nate, but Peter Castro's got this one.
Strong. Look, both are great callers, so it's really completely up to the discretion of the Asmaniac community.
I fully agree.
Ryan, excellent points. Good call. Let's check in right now with JJ, who I'm sure will have an opinion on this. JJ, who you got?
Peter Castro. I didn't vote for him, though. I've actually voted for Nate because I'm petty and Peter endorsed the big fella. So I voted for Nate, but I want Peter to win. But I voted for Nate.
How does that make sense?
Because, I mean, he's mopping the floor with him right now. It's 53 to like 47. It's not even close.
That's not mopping the floor. It was a lot more before. And then Nate got on the bike. This thing is still not decided.
Nate got on the bike and then on live stream tried to solicit a prostitute. So he should be disqualified off rip. I mean, I voted for him, but my God, what are we doing?
That was not a prostitute.
I don't know what it was, but he can come join me in Cancun because I don't know what the heck that was about. I mean, he'll probably go crazy here, but that's a story for a different day. Anyways, I voted for Nate. Peter, take it home, though. That's going to be a very interesting matchup if he wins. Who he would have to face? Who next?
Peter Castro, if he wins, would face Weed the People.
Ooh, that's going to be tough. That would be tough. Dang. See, hey, listen, the Sweet 16 is going to be pretty exciting. All these matchups are like a toss-up. You can't go either way with any of these. And then you'll have David T probably versus Neil. That's going to be pretty interesting.
Leany could upset Neil tomorrow. Leany's beloved.
Yeah, but Neil kind of just, he just goes, man. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going and going. So I can't wait for that one. But Peter Castro, take it home, baby. Peace.
JJ weighing in, and Bill is right. It was 65-35, and then it dropped to 52-49. It's still tight. I think Castro, like if you were looking at the live odds, he would be the favorite because there's about 10 minutes left in the show. But Nate made a hell of a comeback to make this something. And I'm glad this is a great matchup because it's two great callers, and it's a 5-4, so it should be close. Craig writes in with a super chat, love PC, but Nate is my man in Manhattan, always keeping an eye on my house in the kitchen. I would have been there in Times Square with you, mate. How about that? Craig in Australia officially endorsing Nate, parentheses, Nate. Who's this guy going to endorse? He always has an opinion on everything, and he's never wrong about anything. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right now to Mr. 3D Boxing.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Hey, so I got a couple of things. First, I was thoroughly disappointed with Chiefs fan this morning. I didn't call in, but he just surrendered. He just, like, you see Nate and Peter Castro out there politicking for votes until the very last minute, until every vote is counted. Chiefs fan just surrendered. It's like, all right, so you're a quitter. I hate that. And then on top of all that, he made excuses on why he lost. No. You lost because of you. Any man, after any loss, has to look himself in the mirror and say there's one reason why I lost. That is 100% me and 0% anyone else. So you get back out there, you see what you did wrong, and then you got next year. You got a full year to fix it. But you don't do that. You don't just quit because you're losing. Nate could have done that. Nate was down big. Nate was down more than Chiefs fan was ever down. But Nate got out on his bike, and he gave it hell. Is he going to win? I don't know. But his best move on the chessboard was get out on the bike and do what I do best. Not sit there and mope and surrender like Chiefs fan. I was thoroughly disappointed with Chiefs fan. And then he made excuses on why he lost. No, you lost because you didn't put any effort. When I was about 13 years old, I went to nationals, right? I won my regional. I went to nationals in Colorado. First fight in nationals, I lose. My mom's like, oh, you did so good, baby. Look how far you made it. Look how far you made it. My dad looks at me and goes, you slacked on your road work, so you faded in the last round. That's why you lost. And he was right. It's my fault. My mom's congratulating me. Look, you made it this far. Who cares? You came here to win. You lost in the first round because you slacked. You lost because of you. And he's 100% right. And it's a life lesson. Chiefs fan, just quit. Just gave up. Just quit. Like that's your best move on the chessboard?
Would you say, hold on, would you say Chiefs fan doesn't believe in achievement then perhaps?
I don't, he doesn't believe in Chiefs fan. He doesn't believe in hard work. I know that. If he was in my gym, I'd kick him out. I said, I don't care how much time you have. Just get out of my gym. Just get out of my gym. I have no use for you. Get out.
Well, I love the passion that you have for this.
I just hate quitters. Like, quit, you just quit. Like, that's it. You're down, so you just quit. That's it. You quit.
You're not gonna like this DM I got from Cheats fan after the show today. Then I'm gonna read this to you, Gary. I think you're not gonna love this one. Cheats fan messaged me after the show. Gonna be off the show till Thursday. Got to get my head straight. I'm slowly breaking apart. I will still be the closer though. And I wrote to him, you don't have to tell me when you won't be on the show. All good. Have a good week.
You just quit. You just give up. How is quit? You can't ever unquit. Once you quit, that's it. You lose. It's done. You don't ever get to go back and unquit. You just quit. That's it. It's too hard. I'm losing. I'll just throw my hands up and quit. I can't. And then make excuses. Like, once you're making excuses, you're deflecting blame. If you lost, the reason you lost is you. It's 100% you.
He's got to get his head straight now. You know, he's taking a couple days off, and he'll hit the gym this offseason, come back stronger next year.
But it's not, because he's not blaming himself. He's blaming outside issues. When you're blaming outside issues, you're not blaming yourself, and you're the problem. If I lose to anyone, you know why I lost? Because of me, not because of someone else, not because something outside. I lost because of me, and I need to be better. And that's the end of the story.
Nick Shine writes in, ask Gary who silenced him in an argument before the impossible has occurred.
Yeah, well, it was Nick, but I was just admitting my own hypocrisy when it came to buying your team, right? Because I talked about how I hated the Yankees back in the 90s and 2000s when Steinbrenner would buy all the players, Giambi, all these guys. And then I was bragging about the Mets getting Soto and the broke-ass Yankees. So,
yep, that's great.
You got,
nice.
Yeah.
Nick Shine got your ass, baby. Love that. Nice job, Nick.
Good job, Nick. Kudos.
Gator writes in, I don't believe Gary ever had a boxing match. He needs to prove it. Where's the tape? Where's the achievement? Yeah, do we have tape of you boxing? It's a good point.
We do. We got tape. I mean, it's actual tape. It's from like the early 2000s and the 90s.
So here's what you need to do. You need to somehow record it off your phone and send it to me, and we'll play it on the show.
We could try to do that.
Or you got to take it somewhere that can digitalize it.
There's got to be some stuff floating on the internet. I can find it. I'll try to find it.
I think, Gary, you did box because you've been hit in the head so many times, which is why your takes most of the time are bat bleep crazy.
All right. The big fella sending me to the hole.
Damn. Big fella. Instead of playing the whole video for Gary, this gives me a legit excuse to play this instead. Gary, we'll talk to you soon. Wait, real quick, before we do this, are you voting Nate or Castro?
I voted for Nate, but no, I love Castro. I'll vote for Castro in the next round if he gets through, but I voted for Nate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary to the hole.
When he's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. Cause the show spell is on the bed. It's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. Where's the big fella? Sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Where's the big fella?
Yeah, to the hole, Gary goes. Big fella, that's tremendous. 10 entries for big fella in the raffle. All right. Look what we have here. Barbarossa is on the line. Hello, Barbarossa.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Hello, all hail Asmania. Cheers to everybody. Cheers to Ryan. He shouted me out, so this is just to you.
That's incredible.
So I think everybody just got to remember this is just a popularity contest. All right, it's just like that, but only with a little bit of Jets. So don't feel like you gotta do anything if you lose or win. I lost. I'm having a great fucking time. You know,
if you lose, your life is forever ruined. I'm hearing.
Well, I think I take a look at me. Do I look like our life ruined? Do I look like my life's been ruined?
No. I would like to remind people that it is a tournament that is fun, and to Barbarossa's point, hold on, just having glitches here. It is not life or death. What we don't want is any repeat of the Rob and Cheats fan incident from a couple weeks back.
He's more likable than you fucking old cunt. Fuck yourself, you piece of shit. Fuck yourself. Fuck you.
Well, that escalated quickly. Jesus.
Well, first of all, I'm not a trade you, asshole.
Yeah, you are. You are.
You're a fucking asshole too. So
fuck you, asshole. Watch your fucking mouth.
That's the end of that rumble. Jesus. Oh my God. We don't want that. You know.
Yeah, that hit me right in the Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
So just a little thing about the Jets. A lot of this trade back talk. I really feel like if we trade back, we're just not going to get who we need, and we're not going to be able to appropriately fill the holes that we need. I just feel like the Jets are going to jet, and we're just going to get screwed. I really feel like pick somebody at number 7 that can help us right away. I mean, how much are we really expecting next year?
Well, it depends how far back they got to go. It depends. It's impossible to answer because I don't know what teams are trading up for which player. It's easy if there were a lot of quarterbacks. And in that scenario, I wouldn't trade back because if any of these quarterbacks were like last year, I would take them. Like if J.J. McCarthy was there this year at 7, I would take him. If Penix was there at 7, I would take him if I'm the Jets. That's just how I feel looking at the options. I don't know. If I think they're going to end up sticking and picking, and I think they're going to take Armin Membu. I want them to take Tyler Warren though, but they've done the opposite of everything I wanted, so I'm just assuming it's going to be Membu.
Yeah, it's kind of feel like we just kind of I just think what I wouldn't do, and that's what they'll do, or something like that.
Yeah, and look, it's not a bad pick if they take Membu. I think they need a weapon more right now.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to be excited for that pick. I feel like if the wife's pretty close to wanting to go to the draft party, so we're getting there.
Let's go.
Yeah, so she seemed pretty cool with it. So I'll have to ask her again. But yeah, I just want to be excited about this person, whether it's because they're going to help a quarterback or they're going to catch passes or whatever. I just want to be excited, and I don't want to be like, what the hell is this? That's what I don't want. So,
Snowball writes in, when's the joust?
Oh yeah, no, soon. Don't you worry. It's coming up. It's coming up real soon.
That's an incredible hat. You wear that to the draft party. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I have a sword that goes with it, but I don't think that's allowed. But if you really want me to bring this, I'll bring this bad boy.
Oh, it'd be you'd walk in, and the place would go crazy.
I need a horse. If anybody does want to sponsor me for a horse for the joust, I would appreciate that. And I definitely appreciate Kyle Clifton. Bring that couch cushion. I really want the signed couch cushion.
Hell yeah. Barbarossa, excellent call, my man. That's awesome. Quick reminder, this show's available in podcast form, but I would say this is one of those shows you got to see on video because we got Nate on a bike. We got Castro on a bike. We had the cameo from Jersey, Jet on a bike. This is a show you need to be on a bike for. This is a bike show, no doubt. I mean, we've had everything during this show.
Oh, shit.
Show's winding down. Mikey Midnight, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not touching anything, Jake.
Mikey.
Yeah. I love you, Jake. Jake, I want Nate to win it. He's gonna pick us up in the airport.
He's down 53-47. You gotta tell everyone to vote Nate here because he needs your votes. The show's ending in a couple minutes.
I kiss his ass, Nate, to win the whole thing. Nate, I love you, Nate. You're my homeboy. You know it is, because he's my homeboy, because he's rocking the house. I love the other guy, too, but he doesn't understand why he's going to pick us in the train station. If he was picking us in the train station, it would be the best. But I want Nate, and Addy. He's my homeboy. Like my Jake Asman kick ass. Yeah, Jake Asman is the best guy in the whole world. You better cheer for Jake Asman, because no one will help anybody out if you choose Jake Asman in the whole world. He's my homeboy.
Great points there by Mikey Midnight, ladies and gentlemen. Mikey, you on the sauce today, man? Mikey, you drinking right now, by the way? You had the drink today.
Not yet. I didn't drink anything.
Not yet?
I love
All right.
you, Jake. You're my
I love you too.
buddy.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 memberships at the buzzer by Peter Castro. Is he trying to buy a couple last-second votes to clinch a victory? The following 10 people are channel members. This show's ending soon. Justin Goldberg, Steven Spragus, Corey, Emmanuel Baez, Nadine, Epstein Benally, Roy Kumbartsky, Mark, Thomas Gannett, J-Law, all in our membership program. Castro with 10 more raffle entries in our 2010 Jets theme raffle. Oh, by the way. Boomtown checks in. Thank you for the birthday wishes. What an incredible gift this epic matchup has been for me today. Shout out to Jake and the committee. Shout out to you, Boomtown. You are the committee. We're all just your sidekicks. We are all just your sidekicks. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Castro is not on hold, but Nate is. Nate, I'm ending the show shortly here. Make your last second pitch for anyone undecided to try and, at this point, I think your best bet is to try and make up the 3 points and get to an OT session.
Well, the verbal attack wasn't work, so I'm hanging vote for Nate signs around Midtown. We're at MoMA right now. So, I mean, we might get some delayed votes. I don't know if we could recount later. Some people might tune in and rewatch. You might get some comments like, oh, I saw the vote for Nate sign, but didn't know how to vote. So I don't know how the committee worked that in, if we're going to get some, the West Coast vote and whatnot, the Rick Kents of the world, people still at work and all that. No, but this was a great matchup and all fun. I think lots of the Asmaniacs, our country, can take notes on a nice, polite matchup. Peter Castro was a great candidate to run against. Really nothing bad to say about the guy. All the credit in the world goes to him for getting on that bike in a Florida monsoon. I probably would have voted for the guy myself. I mean, I bike every day. I'm working as we speak. He actively went one hand on a bike. Like I was very nervous. I know lots of people were excited, but I was nervous that I was going to get blamed for this man falling off the side of the cliff. But yeah, it was a fun run regardless. I don't know why JJ. I promise I won't be a sore loser. bow out nice and gracefully. I swear I wasn't soliciting a prostitute. I was just making a joke at the $50 vote. But all right, we'll see if the vote for Nate Signs can do anything in the final 5 minutes. We do have a big line of people here. Some have been at MoMA, so if they see the vote for Nate Signs, we're in business. You never know.
I'll tell you what, Nate, you should be very, very proud of your performance because 675 people went out of their way to vote in this one. That is a big number for this tournament.
We love it. We love it. How many viewers right now?
We currently have 343 watching live on YouTube.
Incredible. Well, yeah, shout out to everyone that voted for me. Shout out to the committee. It was fun regardless. I mean, you'll still see my calls. This is just like another one of my calls, but with a little campaigning I had to do. Speaking of, vote for Nate. Jake Asman Show on YouTube. They are way too old to know that. Like I said, you never know. We've seen crazier comebacks. They call it March Madness for a reason.
They do.
See, late buzzer beater. A bunch of people getting off work. All my e-bikers and all the bike gang got to get their votes in for me. So, speaking of, I seem to always be at the Geomac when you called. This is where he shot him. We're making the turn. I think we've done this before on your show. This is where he pulled the trigger.
A moment in time. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Nate, parentheses, Nate.
Oh, shit.
Now joins us, Peter. The show's about to end. You are in control. 678 votes have been cast. 53-47 is the score. Unmute your mic and let us know how you're feeling as Nate essentially gave what was a very classy concession speech.
Well, that's because Nate is a classy guy. And it was a good battle right to the end. It wasn't easy. There's a monsoon over here. Had to ride in the rain, but you got to do what you got to do to win. But I'll tell you what, Nate earned my respect. Good guy.
I love it. You guys are both amazing. I met both of you guys in person, and man, love it. Congrats, Peter. I'm going to end the show here shortly, and you're going to be advancing to the Sweet 16. Here's a look at your region. You got a matchup against Weed the People. Are you going to smoke weed to compete with Weed in your matchup?
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen,
absolutely.
There he is. Give it up to Peter Castro. Hit the Castro emoji. The Peter Castro.
Oh, shit.
And shout out to Gator for making that video as quick as he did, because that is an all-timer. Oh, my God. What a show. What a show. Let me get to one last super chat, and then we'll close the polls here. Rick Kent, $20 super chat, 5 raffle entries. I love Peter Castro. He's a legend. But Nate and I stood shoulder to shoulder and faced down a couple of 49er fans in downtown LA parking lot. I have to vote Nate. Nate got a ton of support, man. Ton of support. It's a shame. Honestly, it shows you about the quality of callers we have on this show. This being a 5-4 in the second round. Wow. I mean, if you told me this was a Final Four matchup, I'd believe it. But someone's got to win. There's no ties in ASMANIAC Madness. No matter how tough it might be, there's always got to be a winner. And ladies and gentlemen, that winner is officially Peter Castro. Almost 700 votes were cast. But it is the OG. Peter Castro, final score 53-46, 683 total votes. Castro to the Sweet 16 against Weed the People. Official. Tomorrow, Leany and Neil in the AM. David T and Purple Belt Mike in the PM. Great matchups in this region tomorrow. And then we'll be on to the Butter region as we continue making our way through. Wow. 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 Congrats again to Peter. Thank you to Nate for all the entertainment, all the laughs. Truly incredible. What a show. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't bought your ticket to the draft party yet, Nate will be there. Hopefully we get Peter Castro there too. A bunch of the people that you see in this tournament are going to be there. Bobby Midnight, Mikey Midnight, V-Man, Charles Gorman, just to name a few. It's going to be wild. All right. Happy birthday again to Boomtown. Thanks to everyone who watched. Thanks again to Peter and Nate for being awesome. That was special. Ladies and gentlemen, we end today's show with a paid message by the Vote for Big Fella campaign. Have a good night, everybody. If you're going to the Garden tonight, look for me and say hello.
Hey, everybody. Big Fella here. And I want to thank everybody for voting for me for the past 2 rounds. I got a big task ahead of me. Charles is a tough competitor, not to be taken lightly. I look forward to the challenge. And go Jets.
His home smell is on the bed. That's what feels good. All the road smell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. Cause the show smell is on the bed. It's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. Whenever Big Fella sleeps alone, there's no room